Well, hello, my name is SherriAnneDuffy-King. I'm the writer of The Prince and the Mirror. It's the second book in the series from the title of A Crucified Innocence, and we're going to continue on from chapter 25, Trouble Onward. Without further ado, let's get started now. Trouble seemed to be what was in the forecast. It was their dilemma. No way to figure out what was going on. William walked Evie into the rebuilt Talon Twins Inn, followed by Luci and Aiden and Iolaus. Then, last but not least, Gregory holding his wife and Marley clinging to her skirts. They all settled in the dining room and sat for a moment to try and gather what was happening. It was a siege, but from whom? Gregory gasped out in anger. Iolaus and Aiden shook their heads in unison, only trying to figure out what was going on. Mary and Marley sat whimpering and crying. Luci put his hands in the air as if to say, "Anew." Akmalutra is aware that we are back. That was him at the meeting, and he ambushed me in the forest. Both Aiden and Iolaus stood up angrily, thrusting from their swords. Be still. I am still here. It's all right. He threw the ball of fire, and I believe he kidnapped Lucinda. I'm not certain yet why he would take her, but I'm gonna find her and get her back. Aiden and Iolaus sat down, throwing uneasy glances about the room. Luci stood up and stated some facts, his withered voice sounding stronger with every word. He had a common rush to his voice that made Evie think of home. Lucinda is going to be all right. She is much older and stronger than she appears. Right now, she would, if she were here, insist on us going to Quackerton Swamp in Hanabi Hollow, deep into the Death Forest. Evie stood up, uneasiness crawling across her skin. Luci saying, "How can you just drop Lucy like that? I thought you cared for her like your own sister. We need to hunt down Akmalutra and get her back at whatever cost." Evie was almost at a hysterical shrieking. Luci stood straighter and his face dropped to a frown. "Princess Ariana, I will not risk us against shadow seraphs. Too dangerous, and I will not throw myself into danger like an perilous imp. I'm a wise water dweller. I have a family, and I want my son Alfred and his wife Marta to grow up and older on this plain. So I would prefer if we went to Quackerton Swamp in Hanabi Hollow, set deep into the Death Forest. We need backup." Evie gazed strongly into his eyes, and she knew deep down that he was right. How could she be so foolish as not to think of a plan? She nodded. "Okay, Luci, what are shadow seraphs and what lies in Quackerton Swamp?" Luci sat down and pulled his chair up to the table. As he did that, everyone else followed by example except Marley and Mary, who rushed to the kitchen to see what was going on. Evie watched the two leave, wondering if her fight would help or crack everything to pieces. Shadow seraphs. Shadow seraphs are dark angels. They are smoggy smoke. They hiss and gurgle when they talk. They are fast and deadly. When they scream, it's a sharp whistle that shreds enemies to pieces. They were once free and gentle beings. They would wander around at night, keeping all safe, but that was many years before the War of Demigods. You were there, although you could hardly remember it. Such horror had to be pulled from your memory as Laura alive. The one who could tell you the story the best would be Ollivander. Sorry about that. Pause for a minute, but my son was playing something loud. Let's continue on. You were there in the War of Demigods, although you could hardly remember it. Such horror had to be pulled from your memory as Laura lied. The one who could tell you the story the best would be Ollivander. But I'll try my best to recapture the suspense. The lights flickered and his voice became more enchanting. A long time ago, a war raged between two demigod men, one for the better and the other for the worst. Evie's mind shot out a scream of memory as he kept on talking. Both sexually infatuated with the same woman, but she only loved one. Now, mind you, these men were on the borderline of psychologically dangerous. Sound familiar? Evie looked over to Iolus and he turned his gaze away in shame. He must have gotten the same creepy sensation as she had. Well, the woman fell in love, but the love of her man was threatened, so she gave herself up to marry the other. Evie was still gazing at Iolus. Shame filled her veins. He looked up at her, and when their eyes met, she averted hers to her hands on the table. She suppressed a tear. Images of the past started to pile in the order of the film in the theater. She remembered going with her brother Jaden, but he wasn't her brother. It was a decoy like Ashton. Dear Ashton. On their wedding night, he murdered her because he felt that if he could not conquer all of her, then no one else could have her. Tears sprang to Evie's eyes and everyone was watching her for a second while Luci continued. You see, her body and soul belonged to Nemesis, but she never once yielded her heart to the other one who tricked her. Evie glanced out the window for a second, looking at the darkness, veiled by the clouds that she had conjured out of nowhere. Stockrose was the other man. He was cruel. Evie shot a petrified glance at Luci and then at Iolus. Stockrose was part god. He could control fire and smoke, while Nemesis was able to control earthly elements such as water and land. The Shadow Seraph were used for evil until Stockrose was obliterated many, many years ago. Evie continued to look at the surrounding people around the room, listening patiently for the ending. Nemesis was furious with heartache and vengeance, carved a place in his soul, filling every fragment of his being with hate. They each wielded a sword and fought ferociously, splitting hairs. In a grip, they held each other. Each of them at the same time pulled out the daggers that were forged together at their birth. Poison infected both bodies, turning them into vicious animals, then dying slowly together with daggers ripping a spurt of blood that dripped until no life remained. Evie screamed at the images that came rushing toward her. She was hysterical. Iolus jumped to hold her steady and comfort her. The suicide continued, unavailed by her interruption. Nemesis rests on his stomach, always crying. Nose, eyes, mouth turned to waterfalls. The other, Stockrose, was on his back where he turned to smoke, slowly disintegrating at the remains of the sorrow and betrayal that his Nemesis skull waterfall. Everyone fell silent except Aiden, who had heard the story before. What lies in Quakerton Swamp? The soothsaying smiled and continued with his speech. We need to convince the Padawan. Then, if we succeed, then we shall head to Ollivander's Citadel for a little chat. He calmed down and was aware that Iolus' arms were circling her. He was warm for a lichen, and he smelled of smoldering marshmallows. Why do you smell like marshmallows, Iolus? Iolus smiled and said softly, me and the guys were drinking mellow marshes by the fire and roasting some marshmallows when the event happened. We were waiting for you and trying to come up with plans. When the sun set, some shiver crawled up everyone's arms, and then we decided to go looking for you, and boom, was all that happened next. William, why were you outside? Oh yeah, well, I went out to the barn and cellar to gather more marshmallows and mellow marshes and sticks for the fire to burn. Mellow marshes is an alcoholic drink like mead, okay, but it's marshmallows. And it's kind of like Kahlua, like chocolate Kahlua is alcohol, right? It's really good. But this drink doesn't exist in our world, which would be cool if it did, right? Let's continue on. Well, when I was out, we can continue on with what William said. Well, when I was out to the barn, I found, oh wait. Oh yeah. Well, I went out to the barn and cellar to gather some more marshmallows, mellow marshes, and sticks for the fire to burn. Oh, okay. Does anyone know why Lucinda was outside? William was the first to answer. Well, when I went out to the barn, I found her there sitting on a haystack petting Ithaca. We talked a while, then the suns were about to set. I asked her to carry the sticks for me while I grabbed the mellow marshes and marshmallows. Then, when I was coming up behind her, she dropped the sticks and made a cloud out of nothing and absorbed the flaming ball, cutting the oxygen flow to the fire. But it sent it off, like, but it set it off and ripped it through the house. She sat stunned. Something was wrong with her. I guided her far enough away to safety and headed to save everyone. Evie patted William on the shoulder, smiling at him. It's okay, we'll find her, and it's not your fault she's gone. We'll exact our revenge soon. Evie stood and straightened her skirts. Tonight we recuperate, tomorrow we leave for Queckerton Swamp. William, you follow me to my chamber so I can speak to you privately. They all separated and went to bed or back to drinking mellow marshes. Evie reached the top floor and stood at her door. Uneasiness soon faded as she walked into it. William followed her. She walked over to the screen and started to get undressed while William sat down in a chair next to her. William, how old are you? He shifted, watching her shadow move briskly behind the curtain. Evie, every curve was visible. I'm 21. She popped her head out in surprise. Really? Wow. How old were you when I first met you? He made eye contact. When I last saw you, I was 14. When I first heard of you, I was 10. Time moves differently here than anywhere else. You grew from a child to an adult in 23 years, but here only 7 years has passed. I'm glad I'm old enough to assist you now. Evie beckoned him to come help her out of her dress. The strings were knotted. He obeyed. Wow, that much time has passed. It's funny how things have barely changed. Like, I had no idea that you had a little sister until I met her. Wow, for such a small, cute thing, she sure talks like an old, cynical woman. She reminds me of my mother in London, trying to marry me off to Henry Lockhart. She smiled over her shoulder at William as he continued to fiddle with the knots. Yeah, yeah, she can be a darling at times. He smiled back. He smiled back at her and then refocused on her back. Listen, William, I have something for you, but I'd like it if you kept it hidden and didn't open it, at least not unless something terrible would happen. He took it and sat it in between his side and pants. I know not to ask too many questions, so I will obey, and when the time comes, which we hope it won't too soon, then I will obey you. She smiled up at him, his eyes glinting some emerald, and his hair still blotched with dirt and ash. When he was finished, she turned toward him. Looking into his eyes, she touched his cheeks and blew wind over his face, and it healed burns and cleaned the dirt from his hair and body. His clothes were still messy, but he stood amazed. Where do you come from, Evie? She shooed him to the chair while she went back to the curtain. I'm a siren, Princess Ariana Wylers of Eldor. Specifically, my kingdom is beneath the surface. My father is King Caleb of Pornople. How do you say that? Oh, it's pronounced Porn-a-play. Oh, okay, go on. Well, my father wants to unite Archimeda and Pornople. He wants heirs, but through a water seraph and a hermit inbreed, we discovered that if we had a child, it would be preferable. We wanted the child to grow up happy, not forced to ruin the world. See, if Umbella and Eldor fall, so do the human dimensions, Earth and the mirror realm, Athormia. Oh, I see. William averted his eyes to the flame and conjured up enough courage to ask, I know this sounds childish, but may I join you to help in your quests? Evie smiled and walked over to him, her night shift black and silky with fringes of lace outlining her collarbone and cleavage. She was barefoot and her hair was dark blood that had halo highlights. Huge curls draped down her shoulders, touching her lower back. Her eyes were jungle green with dark forest moss at the edges of her corneas. Her lips were smooth and she spoke like a woman who absorbed attention and gave great wisdom. The firelight danced on her skin. She walked over to him, grabbed his hands from between his thighs, and helped him stand tall. He was taller than her, and she smiled up at the boy who became a man overnight. William, I would be honored if you could come, but consider the danger in your family. They are whole once again, but what would happen if they were ripped apart to shreds if they found out something terrible had happened to you? His grip tightened a little. Then he loosened up. His eyes flashed black with smoke, then went back to normal. I'll be fine, and they will be in good hands. My father is a good man. He can handle things. It's my time to make something out of myself. She smiled up at him, then tipped herself standing on her toes, stretching up. She took one hand and balanced on his shoulders. Then with her other, she put on his cheek, turning his face a little, and kissed him on the other cheek. All right, then. Get some sleep and we'll see you in the morning, dearest William. William pulled out from beneath her kiss and smiled, his eyes lit. Blue flecks with flames of ebony. Then he walked out. Evie crossed over toward the bed nearest the hearth. A huge bay window on the balcony opened to the back of the towering twins inn. The hearth cooled down, and dusk was breaking through the clouds. The clouds of rain that pelted the side of the balcony splayed off of the windows. Evie turned her face to the window. Night still covered the sky. Even Eldor still hung in the sky. A shadow brushed past the window, stopping short to peer into the room. Eve's eyes widened at the sight of Achmelutra's braced face smudged into the pane of the glass, smiling greedily at her. He started to turn the knob. Evie sat bolt right up and screamed. Iolus was the first to grab her and shake her, and Aiden, accompanied by Luci and William, examined the balcony window. Let's pause right there. So I don't know how I got this mixed up, but basically here's what happened. William left the room. She went to bed. She woke up to seeing and freaking out over Lutra in the window. So that's what happened, alright? Let's continue on. He was here. Oh my. Am I losing my mind? Who was there, Evie? Achmelutra. He was starting to enter through the balcony entrance. Oh, please tell me it was a nightmare. Aiden and the other two looked from the window to Evie. Then a heavy flapping echoed outside. The vibration started to shake the glass. Evie, 'tis no dream. Achmelutra was just outside, and we feared he was going to abduct you in the middle of the night. Dawn was breaking through the haze, and the backs were visible as they headed into the light of the twins' suns. Whew, what a tongue twister, huh? Let's see. That's a really long chapter. Let's do this. Chapter 26, Quakerton Swamp. The hazy morning light flickered off of the decks and tipsies at the edge of the yard. Evie watched the winged beast sucking the dew from the flower bed. Oh, how she marveled at the pace that they were working with. Racing against the rays of dawn, if they were to be immersed in flooded light, they would certainly become small Gothic figurines. And the harmony that crept from their flapping wings was the very essence of a harpsichord. Evie listened and watched, waiting for the opportune moment when they would bathe in fresh dawn. She was even hoping that they would all make it. But this morning they were doodling and lollygagging. A burst of light jumped the field and trees yards away. The blanket of light was swapping with the blanket of night. A half a dozen poofs and tipsies were under the ground. A small putter of smoke escaped the holes. Some peeked out and were crying for their friends. Evie sat up and saw further down the yard a tipsy was caught in a tumble of thorns under a black rose bush. She was crying. Evie was dumbfounded. The little creature reminded Evie of Lucinda. Somewhere out in those undergrowth, her friend was taken and lost to her. Well, she pulled her shoulders back and tried to hold onto the tears of desolation and damnation. She flung her fingers, and a wave of mist and dust shot across the yard to the crying beast, shielding her from the light. She was frightened for her life and sat back with relief. Evie was proof of her worth. No, or was proud of her worth and holding up the barrier. Little putters of smoke filtered the shield, and heads popped up. Crude, ugly heads. More tipsies were popping up under the shield. They were even flying to the top of the bull barrier, gazing out at the bright morning. Baffled, they jumped back. Some turned to help the small, crying creature, unraveling the thorns and twine around her legs. Evie was getting dizzy and trying to hold out for the beastly creatures. Her head was lobbying and her eyes were spinning. She felt faint and sick, nauseous, and a thick layer of blood and mold crossed her senses. She was sensing the emotions of the tipsies. Her breaths came in ragged and irregular. She felt like she was gasping onto her oxygen, trying to hold on to sweet life. The tipsies were pulling at the injured beast's leg, and then Evie collapsed the barrier, but not on purpose. The distraction was Aiden, and she collapsed into his warm arms. Tears flowed freely. He turned away from the window. She couldn't help looking back at the huge whiff of smoke circling the spot, but instead of Gothic figurines lying on the grass under the black thorn rose bush, what lay in the center was a robin egg blue parchment. On it, from a distance in black ink, scrawled out in Vivaldi script, was two utterly long words. Thank you. Evie brushed tears away from her cheeks and smiled. They had survived, and the joy that they found only made her cling to Aiden tighter. Are you ready, my lads? Oh, how she relished his broad accent. The very acronyms sent delightful shivers through her limbs, entering and pulsing her very heartbeat. I. He pulled from their hug. Everything's different now. I know what I am, and I know who you are, and that this love is artificial, but I can't help but hold on to it, thinking that if I were to let it go and you go, that I would dissipate, vanishing into nothing. What kind of life could I live if it weren't for you holding me together? I'll take the pain, but relish the pleasure. I love you, and I know you harbor deeper emotions, hidden farther than the reaches of hell and full of twice the passion for me. And saying it doesn't make it real unless the words are felt deeper than the flesh. Without you, I'm no more, and I just wanted to show you how much You've changed me and made my existence a reality. However false it might be, I regret nothing. Tears sprang to Evie's eyes. Oh, how she loved him. Was it wrong to love more than one person? She had read somewhere in another dimension's Bible that it was okay to love everyone you came across, even your enemies. Everyone needed love, but only to devote yourself to one person. Oh, how it was hard for most humans to find their real mates of eternity. Her brain was seething with uncertainty. Then Aiden brought his mouth down on hers, the light of dawn dancing across his beautiful eyes. His lips were soft. She closed her eyes and got lost for a split second. Waves swam around her as they floated peacefully. A small explosion of dishes crashed in the kitchen. Evie pulled herself back to reality. She pulled out of the kiss, feeling ashamed. I, I can't, Aiden. I'm engaged and I have a mission. I do love you. Evie pushed her fingers into his bristled cheek. I love you. I do. But I have an oath, and I need to deal with our fate. I want my children to grow up in peace and in harmony. His eyes filled with glossy tears. Evie could never stomach the sight of someone crying in front of her. I'm ready to leave. She let go of his face, feeling a salty tear land on her outer palm. They turned to walk out of the room, and Iolaus was lounging against the wall, both his arms raised, his black bottoms and tan chest bending into the wall. His eyes icy blue and hues of dawn washing out across his form. His face was a snare. Shivers crawled up and down her spine. We need to leave him now. Evie was strict and didn't like being quite so forthcoming, but the tension in the dining room was uncomfortable and making her sick to her stomach. They ventured deep into the death forest, crossed Corner's Peak, and traveled farther into the woods than was life. Evie watched as they passed a sign stating Glashwalk. Evie smiled. They were closer to the Padua village than she had noticed. Trees circled in a dense X that was black. Evie hopped down from the thicket and glided toward the anomaly. She bent low and touched the writing. The chemical writing stuck to her fingers. A sulfuric smell spread out fast around the group of people. William's alarm was what saved them. Lady Evie, reach for me. Danger. Danger! Evie threw glances around the trees and saw strange creatures shifting from the top of the trees into primitive people, weapons pulled out and ready for action. Evie grasped onto William's hand, tugged with one hand, a huge movement in place. He placed her behind him. All their swords were ready for any misfortune. They were surrounded, and the Padua crept closer, weapons drawn, some with hatchets and others with blowguns and bows, arrows ready and pointed. Aiden glanced at the other men of the group. Iolaus smirked at his alarm. The Padua was his to command. Sorry, I'm sliding from my chair. This is Iolaus talking now. Dano vi gosh le ban scramch. Iolaus commanded. Evie shot him a glance. Iolaus smiled even brighter. Evie led. I command them to drop their weapons and join us. Evie looked back at the Padua. They looked different from the one she had beheaded earlier. Their eyes were black, and they had sharp teeth. Lips ripping at the sensational hunger they were feeling. Something was wrong. They screamed like 1,000 nails on a chalkboard. They are not the same. They are possessed. Iolaus dropped his smile and looked down at the monsters. They were wrong. And they were drooling and their gazes were stuck on Evie. We need to leave. They are not on our side. Iolaus jumped from his white horse and started to lop heads off and ripping others to ribbons. Aiden joined along with Luci, seeing William sat patient on his horse, guarding Evie. Ithaca whined, undeterred. Evie looked in the direction the horse was showing. More Padawan were scaling like unnatural serpents. Chills crossed between her shoulder blades. We need to leave. Everyone seemed to be ignoring her until William whistled and everyone glanced around the forest. They jumped back onto their horses and led Evie away. Arrows splayed the sky between the pines. A misty red fog followed. Soon the sounds of war subsided and a deafening, defining quiet loomed around them. Even hooves made no noise as they crunched a path to the next destination. Chapter 27. Bartholomew's. Evie was greeted by Ollivander at the entrance of his citadel, his face pale in the shadows of the dusk sunset. Evie told him their situation and found Ollivander and Lucinda are closer than she suspected. We need to find her. She was taken and we need her back. Evie rasped out in a tightly held panic. Her face twisted in desperation. Ollivander pushed both his bony hands around hers. She watched the webbing extend, his nails long and sharp. He sliced a sliver of skin off of Evie's wrist. His face contorted as his nostrils flared in the scent of blood, exotic blood. His smile deepened as he tried to fight off his hunger. His face was pale and his eyes were shaded in a filmy black. Rows of teeth, white teeth, opened as he brought her wrist to his lips, his eyes reflecting her image. Evie watched in horror. Ollivander brushed one hand through his tangled mess of hair and held firmly onto her wrist, mouth clasping around the room. The sensation of power flowing him from her, pleasure and chaos filled him. His lips were on fire, an electrical fire. Evie watched electricity filter across his filmy black eyes, filmy black in his eyes. Then neither of them expected the shock as he was thrown from her wrists. No one had cast him aside. The blood had pushed his vibrant mouth away. Ollivander never gave the shock a chance as he burst into crows and flew out the doorframe. Evie stood dumbfounded, looking after him. A maid had come in and ushered her to a room that they could stay in for the night. The room was similar to the last room that she was in while staying there before. Huge bed with canopy drapes flowing around it. The roaring fire was now quiet and cold. Evie brushed her fingers up and down her arms to push the chills away. She looked down at her arms and noticed the slit with lumps of blood on her wrist. A single flow of electricity crossed through the blood. Another thing that bothered her was that her blood was so different from others. The blood seemed to change with her mood, swings, power. She stood alone for a moment in the dark before the maid that had led her there re-entered. Evie looked at her and her mouth raised to a smile. It was Gabriella. It's you. Where have you been? Oh, how I missed you, Gabriella. The girl stood in shock for a moment. She backed into the corner. A shadow covered her face. Evie was mesmerized and uncertain on what was going on. The girl flexed something into the sleeping her, and the fire awoke and shed light barbarically across the room. Evie had to shield her eyes from the glare. The girl walked over to her and brought her hand down. She walked over to her, and she smiled, and Evie returned the gesture. Gabrielle, where have you been? This time the girl stooped her eyes to the floor. Her smile dropping, and her pale skin glittering with warm rays of light. Evie, my name is not Gabrielle. She was my twin. My name is Jezebel. Evie gasped, stepping back and stumbling into the bed. What? How do you exist? Why aren't you royalty? What happened to Gabriella? Jezebella stepped closer to Evie and put a hand on her shoulder, guiding her to a couple of sofa recliners by her. Evie took her seat, glad that the material woodwork didn't take shape and swallow her whole. My family distorted, hunted down to extinction. See, the Mad King Jack, a couple of generations ago, decided to be faithful to his queen Margot, and his seed was spread unfaithfully across the neighboring civilizations. He bore two sons who ripped apart from Margot's womb. She transpired during labor, and their father decided to start a secret rampage across the land, slaughtering his other bastards. But very few escaped to Ollivander's sanctuary. He provides food and comfort, while he provides safety. Jezebella turned to stare into the fire. Wisps of heat brought color to her cheeks. Her eyes dark like the ocean. Evie thought once they were vile, now she looked deeper. Her eyes were the color of moss, deep and magnificent. Word turned up that my sister died aboard the Ecuadorian Asylum. She was missing along with you, and word spread that you were taken. Blood that matched hers was across the edge of the banister and down the ship. The Silence ate her, spreading her blood across the board like paint. What's sick is that they scribed yummy across in her blood. The smell was putrid. Evie sat up across the little alley between their recliners and stooped to hold her. Tears spread through the girl. Evie held tight, ignoring the sickening feeling in the bottom of her gut. I'm so sorry, Jezebella. Tomorrow we will throw a ceremony for her, I promise. With all my heart, I will find out who is responsible. I will not rest until this is done. Jezebella pulled away, wiping her face of tears and emotions. The heat of her cheeks vanished. A cold air swept into the room, blowing out the flames. I know, Princess. Thank you. Jezebella's voice seemed to not belong to her when she spoke. Alarm crawled under Evie's skin. Chapter 27 continued. Lucinda opened her eyes. Everything was dark and reeked of mold and moss. A thick cord clung to her mouth, and her arms and legs were bound. She had no way to channel her power in order to take control of the situation. She struggled, but the more she struggled, the tighter her binds became. The aftermath of the night before was still lingering in her system. A cold draft spilled past the barrier windows of the cage. A tight whistle attuned her senses. Flapping came up close to the cage. Darkness impeded around her. Where was she? And who would be stupid enough to capture the most powerful hybrid sorceress in all of Umbala and Eldor and Ethormia? A clutter of noises, and the cage was creaking open. She smiled. Who? The one who saved her. Tall in the light from Eldor stood Ollivander, his lengthy black strands falling to his young face. He smiled, and Lucinda couldn't help but return the gesture. He said nothing as he released her chains and rope, blew some smoke over her to knock out the enchantments binding her, and then helped her out of the cart. Ollivander turned Lucinda and held her with the rope around her mouth. Lucy, Lucy, my darling sister Lucinda. She turned and gave him a hug. I knew you'd come. I just wasn't sure when. How are you, Ollivander? He pulled back and sat on the edge of the cart, the door of the cage creaking under his weight as he shifted. Oh, dear sister, I was worried they had hurt you. I'm fine. Evie and the others are under the security of the Citadel. I fear she has discovered that Gabriella is dead and met her twin, Jezebella. I wasn't sure if we should tell her of the connection between us. Could she even handle that much exotic information? Lucinda stood tall, basking in Eldor's light, smiling brighter than she had ever done before. You'd be surprised. Ollivander laughed, and soon Lucinda started to fin with him. They hugged again, then Ollivander whistled. A huge ampon needle sprung above them, landing softly beside Lucinda. I knew you'd be too tired to fly, so I arranged dear old Wingo. She'll be gentle, I promise. Lucinda sprung onto Wingo, and then she was riding the giant spider through the trees. Her eye was calming as the wind flicked past her cheeks. Ollivander sprung into crows, and they were off, flying together. Ollivander went ahead toward the sea, though something was wrong, and he was gone. Lucinda parked Wingo in front of the citadel, petted the back of the creature's head. The pelted fur was soft and flew in the wind. Wingo purred and departed by shooting a web to a tree and pulling herself away. Lucinda smiled and waved. Ollivander flew down the steps, bursting through Evie's door, and spread back in his natural languid form. Evie was backed away from Jezebella, and for good reason. The girl wasn't herself. He had no clue how she had gotten past his defenses. Ollivander whirled Jezebella around and smacked her with his hand. Evie stepped back further. The smack rubbed in some soft white ash, and Jezebella's face shot up toward the ceiling. Her eyes black and a howl of smoke escaped her lungs. The screams were deafening. The smoke laughed and departed through a crack in the ceiling. Evie turned her attention back to the girl. Isabella fainted into Ollivander's arms, her dark hair catching light and absorbing it, her breathing faint and irregular. Evie stepped closer toward Ollivander. She laid a hand on Jezebella's cheek. Her skin was ice and burning colder by the second. Ollivander reached his other hand up to brush her face with sparkling dust, sprinkling it just above her face. The girl opened her eyes. She wasn't aware of her surroundings. Where am I? Ollivander helped her to her feet, smiling at his accomplishments. You're safe, I promise, my sweet. Isabella swayed on her feet, brushing her hair out of her eyes. When she caught a glimpse of Evie, and pure astonishment lit her features. And who are you? Evie was about to answer when a shadow outlined the door behind her. Evie turned and smiled. The figure leaned on the doorframe, smiling back at her. Lucinda! Evie ran to her friend and hugged her deeply. Where had she gone? Oh, who cared? She was back and was going to stay for good. Oh, Evie, you were the only one who would never waver the hope for me. You were the best friend I could have ever had. Now go sit down so I might explain some things. Evie followed back to the recliners, watching Isabella exiting the room, still wondering who Evie was. Excuse me, my throat's getting dry. Ollivander kissed Isabella on the hand and told her that he would check in on her in a little while. Ollivander stalked over toward Luci and stooped by her, the hearth lighting up the sketchy resemblance between the two. His eyes black as hers were white, opposites and yet truly the same. As you may have discovered, Lucinda and I are siblings, more than alike. We are twins, only royalty and Unabala, Eldor, and Thormund give twins. Hard to explain. It's just how things were created in the beginning. To be a twin is to be half of a soul that was ripped apart and formed into another manifestation in and of itself. Oh, but Evie, that's not all. Lucinda and I are hybrid sorcerers, which means our mother was a hermit and our father was a human that traveled with you to the underground city of Rona. They were married as soon as possible. You attended their wedding and our birthing. Queen Bristol was our mother, and Charles Bartholomew was our father. He was one of the escaped bastards of the Mad King Jack Novel. Knoxville, I don't know. His twin never escaped massacre, but you found him and brought him with you. I know this sounds unorthodox and somewhat strange, but you were there, and you are our godmother. Evie leaned back in her recliner, trying to absorb everything. Oh, okay. Evie brushed her palms up her face to try to stay awake for a remainder of the conversation. You see, with my brother and I, we're not only sorcerers, we thrive on blood only for energy purposes. We are powerful beings. Other than that, other than you, my friend. Evie sat up and leaned forward. Is that how you remained unchanged and strong all these years? Lucinda and Ollivander smiled at each other, then at Evie. Rows of teeth, white and glistening, spiked outward toward Evie. My friend, yes, we do require blood, but only a drop or so a day. Usually we rely on our own blood flow. Now another object of discussion. What you witnessed here tonight is Isabella. Well, she was possessed by a shadow seraph, and we're not quite certain how she got past our defenses. But nonetheless, tonight, rest assured that we are on triple alert than usual. Lucinda's eyes flickered with the light of the fire. Tomorrow we need to leave, but I promised Isabella or whoever it was that I would throw a memorial ceremony, so at dawn I will comply with my spoken word. Lucinda and Ollivander stood up, brushed their trousers in unison, and walked toward the door. Very well. Tomorrow at dawn, then we leave for Eldor. Evie stood, and with a wave, she said, "Night, you two." They left and closed the door behind them. Evie walked over toward a bowl of water, usually used for cleansing oneself. She sprinkled her fingers to the water, touching waves. Then her fingers opened up at the tips, filling the water with some lime color. The water churned and churned, and she heard her father's voice from the base of the water portal. Ariana, why are you calling me so late? Don't you know I have to be up in a few hours to get to some meetings? Evie combed her fingers through her tangled, messy auburn hair and leaned forward. Father, I need your help. King Caleb's face tightened in alarm. Ariana, what is wrong? What do you mean? Evie leaned closer to the basin. Father, I need you to make up with the Morianas, feed them, help them in any way, in order to gain their trust and compliance in my battle. Father, please. Akmutra has shadow seraphs in Padua and Flugon. I have an alliance with water dwellers, human race, King Prince Art of the Cardagot on March, the rose of the dead on our side, but I'm worried. Please, Father. King Caleb sensed Evie's desperation in her voice. He dropped his stern, alert look and smiled. Of course, my sweet Longbob. Journey safe, Ariana. The water spiked dust and the image was gone. Evie crossed the room over the bed, slid the curtain. Sorry about this, kid. Stop. Sit down. I'm not done. Okay. The water spiked dust and the image was done. Evie crossed the room over to the bed, slid the curtain open, and crawled beneath the cover. The bed was warm and really comfortable. Her eyes were drooping in the shadows. She crawled in further, clashing with another body beneath the covers. She rose, and the body rolled over to catch her and bring her closer. Evie peeked like a chick. What was she going to do now? How could she call out for help? She would just have to try. Evie opened her mouth. Help! A hand clasped over her face. A hand clasped over her face. Or was it a mouth? She wasn't sure. The body had moved on top of her. She was stuck. A voice pulled the lips from her mouth. Sweet, sweet Evie, I know you only had eyes for me. She was seated, and arose her voice from gentle whisper to a harsh undertone. Her breath came out ragged because of the pressure on top of her. Iolus, what in God's name are you doing in my chamber? Evie, my sweet, I'm here for you. Get off of me, Iolus. He leaned his weight off of her and shifted to the side. They both sat up, and she stared at her darkness. Evie angrily thrust open one of the curtains. Heat from the fireplace erupted the silhouette of Iolus, lighting up all of him. Why are you in my chambers? He smiled. Evie, I followed you in and crawled behind the curtain and waited for you to enter. I'm here because I knew you saw me watch you, aid me in your kiss, and you pushed him away because he truly loved me. I see it in your eyes. I feel it in your very heartbeat. You are mine and mine alone. He laughed at her. What do you take me for, Ditz? I don't belong to you. I will never will. I'm an engaged princess from Cornaflay, she enunciated. I'm a serpent of the sea. I'm not here for you. I'm here for my future children. I do love you, but I have a duty to myself and our races. You must know that somewhere deep down inside of yourself are a list. I know you mean well, but I cannot be yours. I am my own. Now please, good night. I will see you in the morning for the ceremony. He pulled off of the bed and stalked off toward the door, shutting it behind him as he left. The next morning, seconds before dawn, he gathered everyone for the ceremony. At the edge of the dock lay a boat with flowers stacked over the brim of it. Isabella sliced a handful of her braid and placed it in the center. The sun rose and the boat set. Everyone said their piece as the rays of the twin suns crashed with the flowers on the boat. The flowers erupted like fireworks, and flames ate the braid and moved fast. Colors of the rainbow shot around the boat and in the sky. Just above the boat, in the midst of it all, Gabriella's face in smoke appeared and smiled as the boat sailed off into the depths of the ocean ahead. Then all was quiet, and they all climbed into another boat and sailed to the Ecuadorian siren. Captain Alfie met them on board, and when they sailed upward as the ocean met outdoors in water,